This is May 2020, and the whole country is in lockdown as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. We are allowed, however, to go out on a daily basis to exercise, and today I'm taking a walk from my hometown, Brading, where we are now, along the High Street behind us, past the Old Town Hall and our parish church of St Mary the Virgin, along the Mall, and continue up to the path that leads us past Little Jane's Cottage and up through Kelly's Copse and eventually to Brading Down.
As I start my walk past the Norman Parish Church and the Old Town Hall, which dates from the 17th century, we come to the old rectory mansion, which is now divided into restaurant, retail and business units. It's claimed to be the oldest building on the island.
This is the Lilliput Doll and Toy Museum and Shop, founded in the 1970s. Some of the houses in the High Street date from the 17th century. This is the New Town Hall, built in the early 20th century. The bull ring is an iron ring, which was originally in the middle of the road. It was used to tether a bull, which was then tormented by bulldogs and mastiffs. It was believed that torturing the bull before slaughter made the meat tender and more tasty. Our statue of a bull now stands as a memorial to all those tortured bulls that have gone before.
The Mall, leading on from the High Street, was the main thoroughfare through the town until a new road was developed in Victorian and Edwardian times.
This was our doctor's surgery until the doctors retired at the end of March. Now we don't have a doctor's surgery in the parish, and all the patients have had to be dispersed to surgeries in neighbouring towns and parishes. This is Beach Grove Recreation Ground, which is owned in trust for the people of Brading by Brading Town Trust. The children's play area is leased from the trust by Brading Town Council.
Little Jane's Cottage is named after Jane Squibb, who lived here until her death, aged 15, in January 1799 from tuberculosis.
Now we start the long ascent towards Brading Down. This area that we're passing now would have been a quarry long ago, digging for chalk. It would be good to know just how many of these NHS signs there are. I've seen dozens myself between here and Bembridge. They're to show appreciation, of course, for the National Health Service during this time of national health crisis. This area was a quarry, and it's now an area tinged with some sadness. In 2002, a young Danish exchange student, Camilla Peterson, came here to sketch, and very sadly she was murdered. The perpetrator was arrested and convicted, a man from Gosport. This memorial to Camilla was created by the island woodcarver Paul Civil. We never forget Camilla Peterson. Not a bad spot for a coffee break.
From here we can see over Brading, St Mary's Church there, and Key Lane leading to the marshes. That's St Helens in the distance, and temporarily redundant ships anchored in St Helens Roads.
Well, it's an unusual one. I think by the braid that it's tied by that it's definitely from the same source. I don't know if you get extra points for finding that one. Another of Paul Civille's creations, I think. Just a third of a mile to Brading Down. Some local residents to say hello to.
Do you ever get the feeling you're being followed? This is as high as you can get on Brading Down and is my destination today. I made this film on my mobile phone and I'm sorry the image isn't as sharp as it might be when zoomed in. In the centre of the horizon is the Ashy Sea Mark, a navigational aid for mariners of old. As we swing round towards the northwest, we have the sprawl of Newport, our county town, before us. And just about in the centre of the horizon, you can possibly just about make out Fawley Oil Refinery. To its right is the chimney of the power station at Cowshot Point. Then the southern end of Southampton Water and Lee on the Solent. It's the first weekend of May, and there's a fresh southerly breeze. The Solent should be chock-a-block with sails. There's Wootton, with Haven Street in the foreground, and then Ryde and Portsmouth in the distance. There's the Spinnaker Tower. Then there's Southsea. There's Nettleston. And then St Helens, and other than the redundant freighters, just acres of empty sailors' playground. That is a superb walk, there's no doubt about it. I'm just so lucky to have that on the doorstep, I really am. Back to Brading now.
Well, we've dropped right back down now, almost to the level of Brading, and across this field and into the back end of Brading. I have no idea why this is called Doctor's Lane. All the properties along here are quite modern, certainly within the last 40 years. I have no knowledge of any sort of connection between this lane and any doctor, I have to say. This is the St Mary's estate. Most of the homes are bungalows, and so it's very popular with retirees. We're back at St Mary's Church, which was built around about the 11th century. Here's the churchyard, and this is the headstone of little Jane Squibb's grave. The inscription reads, "Sacred to the memory of little Jane, who died 30th January 1799 in the 15th year of her age. Ye, who the power of God delights to trace and mark with joy each monument of grace, tread lightly over the grave as you explore the short and simple annals of the poor. A child reposes underneath this sod, a child to memory dear and dear to God. Rejoice, yet shed the sympathetic tear. Jane, the young cottager, lies buried here."
Well, that's the end of my lockdown walk for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing something of Brading and the surrounding area.